Welcome to the Bantering Weebs. I'm the host for this week. My name is Co, and I am straight up fighting game, video game, sports bro for the night. Um, Beside me are my co-hosts, is Zipmunk
Yo, Zip. I'm the your resident cosplayer support and JRPGs, community streamer, and MMO.
And I guess I'm
and
Joe.
yep.
Semi with Joe. I am your filthy casual, your cosplay photographer, and partially blind. Still,
But he can see the light. He can see the
How
what?
is
light.
it faring so far on that,
Yeah,
Joe?
it's not healing. It's not. It's not that it's not healing. It's just I still can't see out of it. So fun times.
Is it like healing? Like you go need additional surgery, or you're waiting for further surgery, or
I don't know. I mean, already in my second surgery at this point, and it's just probably just needs time to heal, and it's only a matter of time, I guess. So we'll see.
okay?
I'll just yeah, I'll just be like one of those healers that say, put your hand on the screen. Put your hand on the screen, your
Oh,
eye will be healed.
I thought you would have
Trust
went.
in me.
Oh, ilot, ilot, ilot.
It'll.
Healing energy. Actually, David is the healer of our group if we were in RPG world.
I'm the
He's the
usual major support healing class and support all the way.
Former sniper here. This
Former.
former. All
All
right.
right. Well, eh, at this point, we are going to go to um our our first show me what you got for today. So in this week's show me what you got, I wanted to bring up, as you can see by the shirts that we are all wearing, um we all went to
Yeah.
New Japan last week. They had New Japan Pro Wrestling up in City National Civic Center here in San Jose. We all had a great time.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, we watched some nice New Japan wrestling. Um,
Juice, juice,
Juice,
juice,
yeah,
Juice.
yeah. So
Moose.
it,
Moose.
yeah,
juice.
so it
Moose.
was really good. I love the fact that the Bay Area, San Jose in general, San Jose, South Bay Area fans know the wrestling. I believe that um, the fans here know what good wrestling is, and we reward that.
Oh yeah.
It's evident. Although there are some wrestlers that I wish got cheered more, aka TJP. It was weird that yeah, it was weird that TJP was getting booed, but his partner was getting
Cheer.
yeah,
What do you expect,
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb, bro?
Jeff
yeah.
Cobb.
Jeff Cobb was very appreciated. I mean, he's the
Yeah.
strong man, so he'll take you the tour of that island. So I hope TJP starts to get that mojo because I think he's talented. Even though he is kind of easy to pick on, um, it was just funny. That's what it was. It was just funny. Um, other
The
other than
hype of
that,
the
we've
night was Moose and Juice.
yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah.
was yeah, man.
Yeah
That match was
so
crazy, dude. Yeah.
so they're both basically Impact Wrestling stars wrestling in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Juice Robinson and Moose. I've been a Moose fan for a while, and it was it was really fun when half the crowd was chanting Moose, the other half of the crowd was chanting Juice, and it was it was so fun. And the funniest thing is this was in the middle of the card, so I didn't think that the next people wrestled next, we'd all be tired because we were like giving our all in that match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of the end of the night, that match?
I think it was good. I mean, the whole, it seemed like the whole theme of the weekend was to leave the fans home happy. I mean, that same night in Full
Mm-hmm.
Gear on AEW, Cowboy won, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of like the people's champion thing
Cowboy
going on.
shit.
Yep,
Cowboy shit.
Cowboy
Cowboy
shit.
shit.
And now, and then on that night, we had Ishii win. Um, I
Yeah.
Which
think it was
showed,
good for business. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, the Switchblade Jay White will probably move on to a bigger title. Because this is it's not the main title he usually holds. So, um, we'll
Well,
see what happens.
it was nice to see a title change that night, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we actually and the big reveal,
Yeah. Oh,
Bronson
yeah,
Reed.
which I got
Um,
to miss.
yeah.
Yeah. You
So
totally missed that one,
yeah,
man.
so it was funny because Joe Joe went to go to the facilities and the facilities and um, after the Moose and Juice match, and Bronson Reed just showed up. Um, I forgot what name he was going under there, but there was a loud pop. So it's gonna be weird having Bronson Reed and Jeff Cobb on the same match. And, what would be cool is if they were a tag team.
So what? Maybe the follow up of T.J. Perkins ushers in Bronson Reed and Jeff Cobbs to become big boys.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen because I think Bronson Reed is gonna be a heel because he attacked Juice Robinson. You missed the
Yeah.
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that he was doing a face to face with Moose, so they were facing off. But then when Moose left, he did a senton to Juice because Juice was in the middle of the ring.
Well, maybe he's just on a warpath, taking anybody down, heel or face.
So a lone wolf type character, huh?
Yeah, could be. Well, I mean, he's just entering into the New Japan, leaving WWE, so he has to go lone wolf for a minute unless he's got allies already, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. True. And how the storyline they go build up for him. You know.
Which is nice
yeah,
that AEW's what's it called it Wednesday's Dynamite, they had Ishii on that
Yeah.
episode, and he
yeah.
Yep.
was
Which
hanging
I
out
have
with
yet to
Orange
see. I still
Cassidy.
have to
So
catch up on that.
chaos
No,
with
because oh yeah,
Chris Prince.
chaos. I mean, yeah, because they
Chaos.
are
Mm-hmm.
basically a part of chaos now.
Yeah,
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So it's nice that we are kind of back to normal, sorta. Because of COVID times, we can actually go out and enjoy ourselves, have some fun, start some conventions. Joe and I are actually going to be at SAC Anime in January. So if anybody out there, um, you know, is down,
Want
we'll
to
be
go
down there
sack
and say what's up.
during. Also, on top of that, during that same weekend is ALA. So I
Yeah,
might be going. I'm not sure, but you got everyone else knows itself. Yeah, that I will not be going to SAC Anime.
yeah, she's taking a stand, but that's another issue,
Yeah,
serious issue, but that's another issue for another day. So that is my show me what you got. And David, what is your show me what you got?
uh, not that much on mine. Let's see. I just recently got a game on Steam that was on sale, like 1 day sale or something. It's called Blue Fire.
Yep.
Been playing
I
it
Okay.
for a good minute. It's a very enjoyable game itself. It's pretty much an indie style based parkour, platforming, jumping, puzzle game with pretty much some other some other powers you get. You're leveling up to be able to do different type of movements to be able to do further into the puzzle itself. So you go into like some other temples, or I don't know the full premise on it. I haven't really checked further into it itself. Um, but I played so far probably about maybe 2 hours, roughly about
It's a lot of
itself.
wall
Maybe two.
running, right?
Say again.
Like a lot of wall running, like
Mhm.
three-dimensional platforming. You're hitting sides, bouncing off of hits.
No, it's more of it was more of jumping. There's a lot of jumping, Pacific jumping, small little platforms you jump across itself to
Ah,
go to the next. So maybe like for like Guild Wars when we were playing Guild Wars itself,
yeah.
those jump puzzles
Hmm.
itself, pretty much a lot of that itself in the game.
Okay.
Um, so if you're into if you're enjoyable or into that kind of like jump jump puzzles itself, to be able to get you certain games itself, it's really enjoyable itself. So far I've been playing it. It's been getting fun. So I probably will start getting back to my streaming habits again, and I'll probably be streaming that itself. The other one would be we already touched bases already about New Japan that we were watching itself. So the other one would be I started watching. I haven't played League in forever itself, but the on Netflix Arcana uh, show came
Oh
out,
yeah.
and so far pretty much I'm caught up to where they're at right now, and it's enjoyable. It's a good watch. It's a good show itself. Good character development, good build. So even if you don't know the characters or anything regarding League of Legends or where the premise itself is at itself, toss that aside, and it's still a very, very intriguing and enjoyable watch itself. Um, and other last tidbit, last one itself of my show and what you got is Cowboy Bebop. Just dropped out today. I just finished the first episode itself, and it has this. It's the premise of it, but it's not the same exact episodes itself. So they have a good premise, good strong structure, base itself. So far that I watched the first episode, really enjoyable. Hopes for good chemistry, getting good development itself. So it's looking at it's gonna be a promising show. I haven't watched the rest of it itself, the other episodes, but like I said, finishing the first episode, the first review of it. It's good, and most of you guys know I'm a very good, very hardcore, like deep into Cowboy Bebop. I pretty much cosplay Spike all the time.
Yep.
So,
He does.
um, and yeah, I take time watch it, and I'll probably pretty much binge eating over the weekend
Yeah, and
of
you
it
know what?
itself.
I think people have to give the live action cast a chance. I know people got pissed when um you know Faye Valentine isn't supposed to look like Faye Valentine. Well, guess what? Guess what? Don't be a horn dog.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't look at Cowboy Bebop with horn dog eyes and you know Faye
It's okay. I only
Valentine.
got one eye.
The actress who plays her, she she's looking good, but I
yeah.
mean, let's be realistic. There's no one that looks like Faye Valentine in real life. No matter how hard you try, guys. So don't look into it with horn dog
There,
eyes.
well,
Look into it
You
there,
could
with
look like
class.
there,
her,
there
but the
is. You
uniform
can
is
look
not functional.
exactly. And the other thing itself is you have to understand is it's live action, and do they have the capability of performing and having the same vibe that Faye Valentine's gonna get itself? That you could be really hot, really sexy, or whatever that have the same look of Faye Valentine, but is your acting that you can portray enough to have that same feel that V Valentine's will
So
gives.
okay, so let me ask you this: since you watch it, so does it have that same hipness? So we're not looking for. I'm not looking. So I'm not gonna look through it through horn dog eyes, but does it have the same hipness? Because
Yes,
yeah, because the anime had that hipness.
it's having the same hipness, the same vibe that Cowboy Bebop, that jazz, that hipster, that jazz coolness, that relaxed feel itself. It's having that feel that that I enjoy with watching Cowboy Bebop, the originals itself. So for watching the first episode, it has that full relaxed, jazzy, hipness kind of vibe. So that's where the basis I'm getting from itself so far. Itself, it's to my standard right now. It's good itself.
It's good.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
Yoko
good.
Kanno. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one of the best composers. I mean, she did
Yeah.
Macross Plus. Yeah, Yoko Kanno did
Yeah.
the music for
Okano is
Macross
like,
Plus and Ghost in the Shell sax.
Ghost in the Shell. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, there's so many good other ones itself. It's she's has a star caliber composer itself. Like any whatever she puts her mind to or puts her thought into composing itself, it's gonna be good itself. And yeah, with that, I think that's my show me what you got for this week.
yep. And now Joe, show me what
My
you
sh-
got,
What you
bruh.
got?
yeah, my
Bruh.
show maybe you guys pretty slow as well. I've been still trudging through Seinfeld. I'm already in season 8 at this point. So I've been burning through that. Once I'm done with that, I can start going into season 2 of Lock and Key. Uh, Tiger King season 2 just got released as well. And I'm also watching through, since I never really watched it back in the days, I've been burning through Rama One Half. I'm already at episode 118 is my current episode I'll be watching. That is the Marshall Mayhem story arc or season.
Yep.
So I'm working through that. As far as video games, actually took a week off from streaming and playing Pokemon Unite. Surprise, surprise.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I haven't seen him. I usually get a notification, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
oh,
just
what's up with
the holidays at
Joe?
work. The holidays at work is just I'm just
yeah.
not into it right now.
It's that holiday season. It's the work time usually ramps up. Yeah.
So, but I've been playing, or I just started playing. I'm in, I think, chapter 2 or 1 of Yakuza Zero. Finally started playing that. I'm in the yes, yep, yep. I'm currently at. I'm like right before. I just finished
Better
the first
than
boss.
GTA. Better than GTA.
The town's smaller, but there's so much to do that makes up for the town being so small. And I haven't even visited the other town yet, but I'm just running around beating up men in black, yakuza, hooligans, drunkards, just to grind some money. But I'm just running around trying to find as many side quests as possible. So I'm right. So I just finished the boss. I'm currently running like Mr. Shakedown is now active. So I've only run across with
Oh,
him twice. Once, of course, the introduction, and then the second time I got swamped or I got whomped so hard. Um, I'm liking the brawler style of fighting so far. Um, and I like bowling.
okay.
Real
So let
life and
Well,
me.
in
So
video.
you
so
would Boyd itself. You.
so what's your long term goal? To play through all the Yakuza's? You're gonna. I know you're taking it one game at a time, and the side games are great. There's
Yeah.
Judgment, and then there's Lost Judgment, which I just ordered from GameStop. I'm expecting that to go to my house, but yeah, it's very, very, very um, thick with the storyline.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Yeah, Joe.
uh, no, so far as far as the um things you can keep yourself busy with, bowling is one of them. I gotta play Space Hunter, an old school Sega arcade game, which is kind of
Yep.
nice that they have their old retro
Yeah.
arcade games
In the
in a
game,
game.
and
So
and
then,
and the emulation's actually pretty good.
yeah, it's actually pretty decent. Of course,
Nice.
I'm killing it at Claw Machine. So
How would I get?
not a surprise, right? I
No
played the
surprise
billiards.
there.
I was actually waiting for you to see what to get to the arcade because I kind of
Oh,
had a feeling I what game you were gonna go to the
oh,
most once you got
I'm
in there.
I'm clearing house. I'm clear. I go up to the register guy. Hey, can you refill it? Thanks, buddy.
Awesome.
Um, yeah. So far, I'm really digging the story. It's a yakuza crime drama, or I guess you would call it crime drama, right?
Yeah.
Um, I guess the guy is getting. He's kind of like a low rank muscle for the
Yep.
yakuza. He's doing a side job to collect some money from this guy. He beats him up in this like empty lot. He leaves, hangs out with his homeboy, and then they're drinking the night away. They go to like a restaurant, trying to sober up, and they're listening to the news. There's a dead body. The dead body's in the empty lot. That dead body is the guy he beat up, but he didn't shoot him. Somebody else did. So he's getting framed for the murder. And I think that's probably as far as I'm gonna let you guys know. Um,
Yeah.
but
Don't give. Yeah.
I
Don't
I,
give.
I want
Yeah.
to I want to continue with the story, but the completionist and ooh shiny thing in me always stops and like gets sidetracked. Like I'll be okay. Finally, I'm gonna go and continue with the story. I see the pink marker is flashing at me, telling me to go this way. I'm running. you know, oh, I get caught up with the men in black. I fight them, and I'm facing a different direction. Oh, I start running that way. Oh, there's an exclamation mark. Let me go talk to this person. Oh, there's a new mission. Let me go over there, deal with that. And then what was I doing again? You know what? I'm gonna go play some billiards.
Yep.
Never get,
It's
never
easy
gonna
to
finish
get
the
it's
chapter.
easy to get sidetracked at all in all the games
Oh
All
yeah.
those games. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
As far as long term longevity of me playing the Yakuza series, maybe. I mean, it was nice that I jumped in at zero. It's a prequel. It
Yep.
gets you kind of raring to go. I would like to jump into one, two, three, four, five, six, and seven. Right? We're up to seven, but the right isn't it seven?
No. There's so the saga ends at 6, and
Okay,
then
six.
it starts in a new with a new with like a dragon. That's a new
Okay.
protagonist,
Oh, okay. So I
and
was
then
thinking Like a Dragon
yeah,
was seven.
yeah. So that's a new protagonist, and there's the side stories with Judgment and Lost Judgment. That's in that same world. So
And one thing also nice about Zero, it was at a cheaper price for use compared to all the other ones. They're still like floating around $40 to $50, I believe. So that was a
Okay.
nice pickup. I picked up Shin Megami Tensei 5.
yep,
Haven't cracked it open yet.
Nice.
And then
yep.
they
Same
have a
here.
physical copy of Gris out on GameStop, so I ended up picking that up. I had that shipped. That was the latest GameStop shipment. The next shipment for GameStop, because they're having a buy two get one free. I went balls deep on Magic the Gathering. So Modern Horizons 2 set boosters, they only allow you to have the maximum of three in the cart. Any draft boosters are five to the cart. So to make it easy on myself, buy two get one free. I bought three of these set boosters, and then five of Forgotten Realms, five of Strixhaven, and five of Midnight Hunt. So I saved about $25. I spent about 87 in total. Free shipping because I passed a certain point. So
Yeah, $35. It's
yeah.
free shipping. So,
Okay.
Damn.
yep, take advantage of them Black Friday deals because no one wants COVID. So all them companies are making Black Friday early,
Yeah.
spreading it out.
And also, you guys know that I'm a Magic the Gathering guy. And actually, my older brother is trying to get into like sports card collecting. So we're going to go and hit up the sports card,
Oh,
Bay Area
ooh.
Sports Card Expo. So they're saying that they'll be having Bay Area Sports Card Mario, Juan Ubre of the Giants will be there to sign. He's asking for premium $50 to sign a bat, jersey, and or equipment. Rick Barry of um, Warriors will be there.
Yep, Rick
Um,
Barry, the old school.
but yeah, I'm kind of worried because it's sports cards, but they have and collectibles expo. So maybe they might have Magic the Gathering. I'll be bringing my trade binder there. We'll see what I can get out of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, well, you know what? Also, when they say collectibles, there's also sports collectibles as well.
Oh
So,
yeah, like
yeah.
bobbleheads and whatnot. Maybe I
Yep.
should sell them one of my bobbleheads. I think, or LaShawn McCoy Pop Funko. Yeah,
The
nobody wants that.
Sean McCoy Pop Funko. That's
I got it for
random.
free from a raffle. I'm not a Raiders fan. I'm a Niner fan, unfortunately.
Well, we won. We beat the Rams, so we're on the come up. We're on the come up.
Hey,
Anyway,
cheer local sports ball.
we're on the come up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd rather have sharks pops, but I haven't hunt those down. Um, Other than that, that's gonna be for my weekend coming up. Hopefully, I'm done with Sightful and I can start burning into the other shows. Um,
What's your next show you're thinking going into?
I'm
Big Bang
thinking
Theory.
they don't have that on Netflix, buddy. I wish
Oh,
they
that's
did.
right. HBO Max. It's on HBO Max. That's
Yeah,
right.
no, I'm not paying for another streaming site. Um, Probably either Lock and Key, something fast. I just watched that one movie, uh, Love Hard. So it's a Christmas. Yeah, I know. I just threw something on. It's a movie. It's a love Christmas movie about this girl. She's on a dating app and she's swiping and going out with dudes and they're all terrible and she picks this one guy, you know, Asian guy, looks handsome on the picture. She starts talking to him. They're texting back and forth. They're calling. Pretty much, she goes and surprises him for Christmas, and it's not the guy that was in the picture.
Catfish.
She got catfished. But it's one
Oh,
of those
Wow.
stories where they meet. She doesn't like it, but then she'll start to start to fall for that person, and when it starts getting good, something happens and ruins it, and then that kind of thing. So it's a white, attractive white woman meeting an Asian male. So
okay. As
it
long,
yeah, yeah, it's
I mean,
okay. It's
like
kind of
like
cheesy. It's predictable. But if you notice it, the guy likes the movie Love Actually as his favorite Christmas movie, and the girl loves her favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. So that's how you
oh
get the
yeah, because
title
that yeah, because
Love
Die Hard is a
Hard.
Christmas movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, clever.
I
Okay.
yeah. After I watched it, I was like, oh, that's the title. Hmm.
So
So that's
then,
my show me what you
Okay.
got.
all right. Pretty strong, pretty strong, pretty strong. Show me what you got there. Come on, let's get some passion. Get some. Oh, autumn guns. All right, all right. So,
Can you show me
uh,
where the gym is at, buddy?
Yeah. Can you continue over there?
Ooh. Oh, so
There we go.
sexy.
Look at that. Yeah.
all right. So, another. All right. So, my two bits this week, since I am the host, is the releases. Um, so we are the Bantering Weebs, and I strongly feel that wrestling is really part of nerd culture. Wrestling, video games, and anime to me go hand in hand, and combat sports and sports in general. I'm a bro. I'm a bro that likes nerdy stuff. So um, I am a hardcore wrestling fan. I love all of wrestling, WWE, AEW, Impact. So Um,
What? Not New Japan?
WWE has a
Not
very
New Japan. You
oh
put
yeah, New Japan, of course. Who would forget? Of course, thank you.
come on.
Um, it's a given. We have the shirts.
How'd
Anyways,
that slip your mind? Ugh.
WWE is the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. And a couple of years ago, they went on a shopping spree to get all the indie wrestlers, so no one takes them. So they had a big bloated roster. And this past year, they have been a lot of releases. Um, some justify, some make sense. A lot of them doesn't. Um, all of it, makes me mad. Because it's more people that don't have a job. And
Yeah.
contrary to what you can say, AEW can only take so much people. Impact can only take so much people. Ring of Honor let everyone go, so there's less places for these wrestlers to go.
And that's where Jay Lethal came to AEW. I don't know if
And
he's gonna
is
stay there.
NWA
Yep.
still?
So let me
Is
let me let
NWA
me um let me
involved
run
too,
down the list of
or no?
oh
Hmm.
what's up?
NWA, is that still?
Yeah,
Are they
yeah.
still?
NWA is still actually I don't know. I haven't seen advertisements yet. So if anybody out there
Okay.
that's watching like to chime in. I used to watch NWA every week, but I haven't got a chance to since the pandemic began. So let me run down the list. So this past week WWE made another round of releases. So I'm gonna run down the list of the recent releases. So it's Ashante Adonis, um, Drake Maverick, Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Really?
So Ashante Adonis and Isaiah Swerve Scott, though they were so it's basically the remaining members of Top Dollar. Um, so
Because
B
they
Fab,
released the
the girl,
the one the
the
girl like
girl. Yeah, they released the
couple
girl
weeks ago
first.
or
She
last
was she
month.
was yeah, so she was in the last round of cuts, and then this round of cuts they released the rest of top of Hit Row. So Ashante Adonis, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Top Dollar. And
Which
it
is weird because they just pushed them
yes, into
into going
SmackDown. They were in
into
SmackDown.
SmackDown, right?
Yeah,
They just put them like so much push, so much
yeah,
uh
entertain. Yeah,
prom-
and I thought they were
promos like
entertaining.
every week. I remember there was like a promo for hit
Yeah, and I
for
thought it was entertaining. And then they were doing some weird stuff, but with yeah, with some of the wrestlers. So uh yeah, it's just a very strange kind of unfortunate situation because I thought they'd be pushed to the moon because they're young, and they have the whole hip hop element thing. So
yeah,
it
like
just
when
yeah,
their first match or whatever, getting into SmackDown was looking good. Like they're
yeah,
looking like they're gonna be a solid group to
yeah,
push.
yep. So let me run down the rest of the list. So um Jackson Riker, you know I haven't seen him for a hot minute. So um
Not ever
Shane
since
Stone.
the whole thing. Not ever since the whole racist incident with his other
Well,
teammate, right?
no, actually, he was paired up with Elias,
Oh,
and
that's right. So
then
that's after that. Yeah.
yeah. So he was paired up with Elias, and then he had a feud with Elias. He won that feud. He beat up Elias, and then after that feud was done, we haven't seen him in a while. And come to think of it, we haven't even seen Elias in a while. Elias, they had this thing. What is it? What is it? Last month or 2 months ago, where like he burned his guitar and he said R.I.P. So he's basically burying his old guitar gimmick. So they're
Mm,
probably going to repackage him since they haven't let him go yet. So
yeah.
Elias is probably going to get repackaged.
And then you
Uh,
mentioned also was it Drake Maverick, and he was
yeah,
about to be released the last time, and now it's the second time, and it's stuck, I guess.
yeah, it's stuck. This time it's stuck. Um, So and then Shane Thorne, Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox is one of
Oh
my favorite wrestlers.
yeah, man.
Lady Kane, yeah. and she was actually paired up with Shotzi Blackheart, and I thought they were
Hmm.
gonna
Oh,
be a great. I know,
Yeah.
I thought they were
Yeah.
gonna be an awesome tag team, but they broke them up, and then Shotzi turned heel, which I actually
which I'm
I
cool.
liked it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm cool
I
with it.
think it's a natural progression of
Yeah,
Hmm.
Shotzi's character to
Yeah.
turn heel. Um, because being a face with that gimmick would just be too campy. Um, and the biggest surprise, John Morrison. Um,
Yeah.
so I just
Drip.
wish
Drip.
this. I know Johnny Drip Drip. So
Johnny
I
Mundo.
was yeah. Well, it looks like he's gonna go back to Johnny. I forgot what his persona in Impact was. I think
Uh,
it wasn't
shoot,
Johnny Mundo, but
No.
Johnny Hollywood. I think no,
no, it's not
No.
that. No, but
It was Johnny something.
yeah, so it looks like he's probably gonna go to Impact. So him and his wife Taya Valkyrie, are both out.
Because
She
Ty
was,
Valkyrie was it the last cut she was,
yeah,
or is it
she was in the
she was
last round of
in the
cuts,
last round of cuts?
and now
No.
John Morrison was in this round of cuts. I was
Uh,
hoping they were gonna actually have have a little him have a little whisper of like the title because he's a solid veteran, very
yeah.
entertaining, and
Hmm.
uh, you know,
Johnny
unfortunately,
Impact.
yeah, there we go,
Johnny
Johnny
Impact.
Impact. Thank you, Johnny Impact. So he'll most likely go back to Impact, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Impact will take him back, and him and Taya Valkyrie.
I
Um,
say he should go do the rounds, hit up New Japan, go do some more independent stuff before like locking down.
yeah, we'll see once they're so they're on the main. Oh, well, he's on the main roster, so I think he is his non-compete clause is 90 days.
90 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah,
If you got cut in NXT, it's 30 days. So no
right.
one got cut. So this was an NXT talent. So it's just really odd because the reason for all these releases was budget cuts, and that's kind of a blanket excuse. Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is not really true because apparently WWE is seeing record profits. And I think they just had a bloated roster. We all knew they had a bloated roster to begin with. And um,
Maybe
I
they
think
changed catering companies where it's more expensive and they're feeding too many mouths at the
yeah, they're
catering
feeding too
table.
many mouths for people to hang out in catering. But it just sucks that some of the moves they made were very odd because they would repackage wrestlers that got over in NXT.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I mean
Keith
Karrion
Lee.
Cross, yeah, Keith Lee, he was
Keith
so
Lee
over.
carrying cross. Like, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had to repackage him. Why? I mean, why did he have to
Why?
be a Bearcat? And why did why did
Wow.
Karrion Cross have to have a gimp mask? So I didn't get it. And they took Scarlett away. So
Yeah.
that whole
Give
look in
give mask and take
NXT,
Scarlet away.
yeah. So that whole look in NXT that got really over, they had to do. They had to take that away and repackage
Come on, guys. He was in the Gimp. He was supposed to be a gladiator.
it. Basically, what he wears. Oh, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, but
I don't know
but
what
him
you're
and
talking
Scarlett,
about.
yeah. What him and Scarlett do in their free time. Anyway, so that's that. I think that they should give the talent a chance to get over first. So they never repackaged Riddle or Damian Priest when they got to the main roster, and they're
Yeah.
thriving. The whole arcade. If anything, Riddle leaned more heavily into the Stoner gimmick when he hit the main roster.
Oh yeah.
He
Hmm.
leaned even more into the Stoner gimmick, and
Yeah.
Damian Priest, he's still, I mean, they don't mention the Archer of Infamy thing, but he's more or less the same as he was in NXT. So
Yeah.
I just wish. I think that if um, the Ringmaster and Rocky Maivia were to debut in WWE now, they would have gotten cut. So I'm saying that because those were what The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, those were their personas before they became Stone Cold and The Rock. And I just have this feeling if they were to debut, they probably get cut because they had to find out what worked before something stuck. So
Right.
Austin 316, Austin 316, where instead of doing the $1 million dream, he did the Stone Cold Stunner. That stuck and that resonated with a lot of people. When Rocky Maivia became The Rock, when that persona flourished, that captivated everybody, and that helped make the Attitude Era, with Stone Cold and The Rock leading the way. The Attitude Era of WWE, one of its most beloved eras. But I just have a feeling that if those, two personalities were to debut today, um, I think that they'd get cut
They
because
would have
they're
been cut a long time ago.
yeah, because they
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to get over. And um I think it's the reason of the times we live now. Um we know that WWE, ratings wise, Raw and SmackDown, they um are the most watched TV programs on Monday nights and Friday nights. But one of the things that WWE, they're basically not promoting wrestling, they're promoting content. So they become content creators because they have their accounts all over social media. So I think what they're doing is that they're just moving along with the times, and they're putting in cold hard data um, to make their moves. So Nick Khan, who's basically he's in Vince McMahon's ear, no relation to Tony Khan. It's making these. It's always hard, but the storyline um, of SmackDown is really good. But it's just sad to see people lose their jobs. So I hope that
Yeah.
AEW and Impact pick up as much people as they can, and New Japan. But I think a lot of them will probably be relegated to the Indies. Um, and hopefully we have a thriving indie scene because a lot of people are being released now. So we'll see what happens. That is my two bits, and now we will slide into our main
Oh
topic,
yeah. Good
which is
stuff.
retro games. Now,
Retro. Bow, 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 bow.
yep, I mean my my first memory of playing video games was actually when I guess I was 3 or 4 years old. So my my aunt and my mom, we'd go to our uncle's house, and my uncle lived in an apartment, and they had like a little pool hall in that apartment, and then they had like arcade games. This was in the 80s where like you would see arcade cabinets everywhere. Like arcade cabinets were like in grocery stores, in laundromats, in every 7-Eleven there was an arcade cabinet,
Oh yeah.
um, or two or three or four or five.
Or
Um,
pizza parlors.
yeah, and yeah,
Or
pizza
peace
parlors
bars.
as well.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut. Actually, Pizza Hut was the number one spot that I would play my arcade games
There's pizza
when I
box.
was a teen. Yeah. So, but to move on with the story, um, the earliest video game that I remember playing was Donkey Kong, and it was in that little pool hall in my uncle's apartment community. And I just remember like being a little kid and like 4 and having to stand on like a chair to play the game. Um, and then just being um, just you just have you get just having a good feeling of like you're controlling. You have some say in what you're doing on a game on the screen. You can control what's happening on the screen, and I thought that was very fascinating. And another another early memory was also my other uncle. Um, my other uncle, he grew up with an Atari 2600. So I remember going to my uncle's house and my other uncle's house, and um, he had the Atari 2600, with the joysticks
Yep.
and the one
Oh
button,
yeah.
and
That was that. My mom was able to get me that way back.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
I remember.
remember the cartridges were
Hmm.
like just chips. I remember the cartridges, and um, I remember the game that I liked playing the most on the Atari 2600 was Phoenix, which was another Space Invader type
It was a
game.
Space Invader.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
like
I think I remember either Phoenix or Space Invaders or Alien Invaders something. I think one of those three was like the game that like my first game I remember playing up on the Atari itself.
remember the sports games on the Atari 2600. I remember playing. My uncle had game. It was just boxing, and it was two circles, two arms, and then two,
Yeah, yeah.
like two
I
things with
remember that
gloves, and
game.
then it was two people, and
Just
you were
out
just
of
punching each other. Yeah,
boop, boop.
I
yeah,
think I
yeah,
played that. No,
yeah.
I don't know
It
that
was,
one.
Oh yeah.
you know, and then there was also Tank. Tank was pretty fun. You were playing two Tank. It was mostly so back in the day. Um, Games weren't all about storyline, which the reason I play games today is because it's another extension of telling a story. It's like reading a book. But back in the 80s, people would play games to for competition or who would have the highest score. That's that was the reason
Yeah.
why people played games back in the day.
You know what that reminds me of? The movie Wizard. I love the Power Glove.
Oh
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Loki goes to go and play the Nintendo like event. If you've never seen
Oh
hmm
it,
yeah, oh yeah,
ask
and
for
you know
something.
what? And I remember seeing that. I remember seeing the Wizard, in Milpitas in Sierra Theater. Remember
Oh
that theater,
Oh
damn!
Joe?
yeah.
See the
Oh
theaters.
yeah.
Jesus, rat
Yeah, I
infested.
remember seeing that movie in Sierra theaters, and that was the first time you actually got to see Super Mario Brothers 3. Premiered in, well, I mean, it was in Japan before, but it premiered for us Western guys in that movie,
Yeah.
and I mean, it changed everything. I mean,
Hmm.
um, a lot of people think that Super Mario Brothers 3 is um, the best platforming game ever. As far as Super Mario Brother games go, people are arguing between Part 3. Are you Super Mario Brothers Part 3 guy, or are you a Super
Tomorrow's
Mario
World.
Brother World guy, Super Mario World
Hmm.
guy? So as far as 2D Super Mario games, people are kind of split between Part 3 and Mario World.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like what's your allegiance to? Are you a Super Mario Bros. 3 guy or Super Mario World guy?
3.
3. I played 3 a lot more than World
The
itself.
Tanuki suit. Oh, I remember
Hmm.
finally getting all those whistles to get that Tanuki suit. I remember
Yeah.
doing that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, like the moment I think of Mario Brothers and the mere mention of 3, I can already hear it in my head. Dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun,
that
dun,
opening
dun, dun,
level,
dun,
and then you
dun,
got
dun.
to fly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. First time like you get the thing you start like
The
able to
raccoon.
fly.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, wait, this is totally game changing compared to like the previous Super Mario games you were playing. Like
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
totally game changing
and the mini games
experience.
and all the mini games that was there. Remember
Yeah,
the game where you had to like match up like the
Inside Toad's Hut.
yeah, inside
those
Toad's Hut. Yeah,
little match game. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean the overworld map. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think, but I and they built upon that with Super Mario World
Mario
2.
World.
I mean not Super Mario World. I'm sorry, Super Mario Land 2. They built upon that
Oh
concept
yeah,
from Super
yeah.
Mario Brothers 3 with Super Mario Land 3. Um, so let me ask the other two weebs before I give my answer. So, what was your first? Uh, I'm gonna ask David first, and then we can go to Joe. So, David, what was
Me on
your
the spot
first?
already? God
Yeah,
damn.
what was your first memory of a video game that you played, and what was the first system you ever owned?
First system I ever owned was Atari 2600. The first game that I remember playing um uh was ET.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's considered a bad game, but you know when we were kids, we
When we
don't
were kids,
really
and the thing
think it's a
itself
bad
was,
game.
yeah, the thing itself was that I just finished watching ET, like a month or couple months prior, or I don't remember, and that was like, so there was this huge advertisement of it itself that I was like, oh, like convinced my mom to get it because I enjoyed the movie, wanted to see how the game is because the game's gonna be just like the movie, right? And it was, as a kid, way back itself, it was fun but confusing and don't know what to do and don't know how to actually really play. So I was just going up and down and back and forth all the time. So
It's like I'm controlling something.
yeah, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Because I'm like what, maybe 5, 6, I think, maybe something like that. I don't remember. Like, and to like little kid of that age itself, and you're getting to play these kind of games itself, like getting to play like this stuff that's like new, like groundbreaking kind of things at the time, and you're a kid and being able to experience that is like, yeah. Whereas like all my other friends I knew didn't even have like any game systems or Ataris or anything like that. So like being the only kid in the neighborhood that like has a gaming system, kind of thing, you know, made you feel cool.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Yeah.
totally see the appeal of that. Um, yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Where did you keep the 2600? Where is it now?
No, unfortunately, that was during a lot of stuff with my mom that ended up having to do when she got laid off way back. Things I had put in storage. We had moved around a bit, and due to that, cannot pay for storage after a while, and storage has to storage ends up going up for auction. So a lot of fine memories and a lot of stuff that I remember,
It,
as
it's
it's
probably it's probably like in a retro store or something. That would be
potentially,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember like the same thing. I had a lot of old school games itself, or even collectibles. Like I had the whole entire like set of Ninja Turtles itself, like the whole
Oh,
entire dioramas and everything, and like that was in storage, and you know it it is what it is, you know. good fond memories and stuff. But you just have to think, and as someone that ended up, whoever auctioned the storage hunters or whatever those shows are, like
Storage Wars, yeah.
storage wars. We just gotta hope that whoever got our storage unit, all the stuff that was in there went to very nice and good hands. We hope,
Hopefully.
and everyone was blessed from all the experiences from all that stuff.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Well, Joe, so what's your earliest memory of video games, and what was your
Earliest
first
memory.
system?
Okay, my first system, I think we talked about this before, is the NES. I remember I was visiting my cousins in LA, and I was stuck playing with their Nintendo, and my parents saw that, and so they bought me my own Nintendo. First game, of course, is Mario Brothers, and I played that a lot. Um, as a kid, I didn't really have access to a bunch of games, so it's whatever my brothers got a hold of. They already had their own NES, and I ended up getting my own as well. Um, but they bought on their own on terms and whatnot. So I played whatever they had, like Contra and whatnot. Um, Favorite, at least for the NES system, I think one of my favorite games was Dodgeball. That was one
Oh,
of my
okay.
favorite
ooh,
games.
Yeah, that's actually one of
I
the
remember.
games that had multi-tap functionality. Like you can
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
one of the
double
yeah,
first
tap
first
and
games
you
that
get to
had
run.
the
yeah.
double tapping to
Yeah.
move and push over
Wor-
and run.
I
Yeah,
think worst memory of a NES game probably was like one of the Olympic games. We had to do the track and, or it may have been called track and field. And I remember you had to like press
the
the A and B to make the go fast, but I didn't have the mat, so I thought I sucked at the game because I was using controller, not because I didn't have the mat, and so I just hated the game with a passion. Plus, I don't
Oh,
think we had the manual because I think we
oh.
borrowed it from somebody. So I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So this game sucks.
Did you like California games? Did you ever play California games?
California
Because
games,
I
like
thought it was fun.
which one's the California games?
That's the one where you can surf. There's
Oh,
this
you
one where
mean
you can
Town and
hacky sack.
Country,
Town and Country.
It was
TNC
called.
Surf Shop.
TNG. Yeah,
That's another game. I think I still have the cartridge. I played the surfing a lot. Didn't really care for the skateboarding, and I always played the tiki guy.
yeah. I played Tiki Guy a lot too. Remember Tiki
Yeah.
Guy?
Or if I'm surfing, I'm playing the cat in the tuxedo.
Oh,
Sweet
remember that?
cat in
Yeah.
tuxedo. Yeah, that game was cool though. Um, and then moving into the Super NES, I'm trying to think of the fondest and like memory that sticks out for Super NES will probably be Street Fighter Turbo New Challenger.
The new
Yeah,
challengers was, yeah,
the, with
that was
T
great.
Hawk, Fei Long,
Okay.
DJ. So that was cool. I mean, those are like my biggest memories, at least for these systems. Sega Genesis was Alter Beast. Played that one a
Oh,
lot,
Alter Beast.
and also I think it's called Afterburner. It was
Yeah,
a
the arcade
yeah.
jet fighting game. Yeah,
Oh, I love that one.
yeah.
Pilot Wing.
The
Was it
arcade
Pilot?
cabinet was insane. Remember going to the arcade and seeing that arcade cabinet of Afterburner?
Oh yeah.
No, I
Mm-hmm.
never got to see that. They really
Oh,
go
the
off
arcade,
much.
the Afterbird arcade in the arcade. Oh man, that was a shit back then, dude.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's some there's some arcade cabinets where it was just like the standard cockpit, but then there was and I don't remember what arcades would have them. Some arcades had the actual like the full um like afterburner cockpit experience where like you were moving. It
Mm,
was in motion
Mm-hmm.
with the game. It was pretty insane. Um, but yeah, I mean the Genesis was fast enough to make those, and they very kind of missed those like arcade style jet fighting games.
I think because of that, R Type, which was I think on the Super NES that I played, um, and there's another one. It was an old one. It was in arcades, and they look like you're like you play two players, and it's top down shmup, vertical pull, and you're like dudes with wings. I can't remember what it was called. That's
Oh,
another
I know.
Breakers,
I think it's yeah. I
the
know.
shmup.
Legendary Wing.
Is it Legendary Wing?
Legendary, Pilot Wing.
No,
No,
Pilot Wings is
Pilot Wing
the
was
yeah.
the
It's the Super Nintendo. Like
Nintendo.
it looked like a demo where it did a lot of the Mode 7 stuff where you can like
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I think also was it Gradius? Is that the one with the boss ships are fish type creatures? Gradius? I can't remember
Don't know
anymore.
on that
No,
one.
Gradius,
not
right?
That one doesn't really ring a bell to me.
no.
Oh,
I know which one he's talking about.
they're fish.
It's Darius. Darius.
Oh, Darius.
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 Yeah,
And then
Darius
you
is
can
the one
actually
that.
split your path. You can go
Yeah.
A or B.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where I get my shmupping skills from.
And
Hmm.
it's actually I mean the one on Super Nintendo actually is a multiplayer. It's two players.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Um And then moving on to, let's see, we had a TurboGrafx 64, and
TurboGrafx 16.
uh, is it 16? Sorry, not 64,
Yeah.
16. Um, Splatterhouse, and we had one other game. It was like a ninja game. Can't
Oh,
remember what
Ninja
it's called.
Spirit. Ninja
Is
Spirit.
it Ninja Spirit? I always got stuck at the you're dropping down the pit, and I didn't know what to do while we're falling down the pit. Uh,
Yeah, the
you
boss.
know what
I
I'm talking
remember.
about? The pit.
I don't remember the pit.
Yeah,
I
it's like a
remember
long
like
drop,
the
and then like I don't know what you're supposed to do, end up just dying. So I
Hmm.
don't. Once
Yeah, I
again,
don't
no
remember.
manual. So
what was your earliest memory of video games?
what would be Mario Brothers on the N64? Oh, actually, sorry. Before I even got my Nintendo, playing Battletoads on the NES at my cousin's house in LA.
Okay, Battletoads. How far
Oh,
did you get?
Ugh,
that's
hell if I
hard.
know. Hell if I know. All I remember is
Stage
just
Like
three.
the speeder
Stage
part was
three speeder.
hard.
I,
Or like I
did
was
I get
always
Pretty
you're always
most
crashing
people
into walls.
it's stage three at the speeders.
probably
Speeders.
probably
Speeder bikes,
Yeah.
yeah.
speeder bike.
And then there's also
I think
Contra though.
I think I've gotten to stage four twice.
Mm, yeah.
It's like I could never get like
I mean
as soon as the
there's a
speeder bike's
term.
like, yep, nope.
Yeah, so there's such a term as NES hard.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Hmm.
if a game is hard, the term
Unforgiving hard.
NES hard. Yep.
Yeah. What was the other one that was crazy hard?
Ninja Turtles when
Ninja
in the
Turtles.
water.
Ninja
Yeah,
Water.
Ninja
Turtles,
Turtles one. Yep.
the water stage.
And
Yeah.
if you guys don't know what Ninja Turtles we're talking about, look for an NES cartridge with all four Ninja Turtles wearing red bands, and this is supposed to be contribute to the actual comic book.
Yep.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, little tidbit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another game that was also featured in the
Yeah,
Wiz.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yep, that game was on. I remember him playing that in the hotel
Yeah.
I still want the Power Glove.
I had the power glove and it
just
was
for
the
novelty.
horriblest thing. The power
Yeah,
glove was horrible.
Oh yeah,
but people still
garbage.
want it for the novelty of it though.
It's just a
Just for the
novelty, like,
sake just for
yeah.
the sake
Then you
of it
try it,
being
and
a
it's like
novelty.
you try it, and it's like, what the hell is going? This don't do shit. It's like I have the power glove. All right, I'm just gonna use the controller. It never responded correctly to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, no, it was trash, and for the amount of money your parents will be spending on it, yeah,
Yeah,
trash.
yeah,
So I remember playing this game because my mom like would have a job training class and like the county would pay for babysitting, and I remember going going to this babysitters, and there was a bunch of kids, and they had a Nintendo there, and one of the games that they had was Gyromite. Um, and Gyromite, you need it
I
was
don't know
is
that
what is
one.
the game where you needed Robbie the robot. Um,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I
yeah,
think I remember you hold the little gyro and you move into platforms and you gotta move your way through it. Yeah, that
yeah,
game was hard.
yeah,
Well, at
yeah. It
least
was.
my dumbass was thought it was hard.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, because I never had that Rob, uh,
My cousin
uh,
had that game
Rob,
in Milpitas.
Robbie the
that little
robot.
Rob control, robot little thingamajig. Is
Oh
it
man.
was a Rob the robot, right? Was it
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Rob the
Rob the
robot.
robot? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I never had that, so I don't think I never played Jeremiah. That's why I was like, that doesn't sound familiar. But now seeing the image of it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. As far as my first system I ever owned, I'm a lot like Joe. The first system I ever owned was a Nintendo. I remember my mom used to work graveyard shift, and like the place where my mom used to like caffeine up. My mom would get coffee at 7-Eleven. Um, and so we were at 7-Eleven a lot. Um, and if 7-Eleven back then in the 80s, they had arcade cabinets. So I would always play Super Mario Brothers at the 7-Eleven. They had Super Mario Brothers there. Um, I remember playing Super Mario Brothers, Bad Dudes, and RoboCop.
Bad
And
dudes.
Tubin, yeah, Bad Dudes.
I remember playing
Actually,
Bad
you saw
Dudes.
Karnov, one of the first instances of seeing Karnov there. He was the
Mm-hmm.
boss.
Yeah.
But the game I played the most, and I was always fiending for quarters, was Super Mario Brothers. And I remember playing the game, and I never figured out how to um, get 5,000 points on the flag at the end of the level when I was a kid. Never got to figure that out. And I remember, um, and this was back when I was, I believe, 6. I was 6. I remember the exact moment where I figured out how to run to get 5,000 points on the flag, and I remember being so happy. And I don't know why. It's just points. But
Yeah.
I figured something out. The fact that I figured out
You figure
how to get
figure it out that you could the highest score
5,000
you can get.
points
Yeah.
to get the flag at the end of the level, to get the top, to reach the top of that flag at the end of the level, just felt good. And
Mm-hmm.
I was always wasting a lot of quarters, and wasting a lot of money because I was always bugging my mom. So, I mean, my aunt, because I was bugging my mom a lot, and my mom worked a lot. Um, but my aunt bought me a Nintendo for my birthday with Super Mario Brothers. The first, wi- uh, so my aunt and my uncle bought me video games. So my aunt bought me NES and Super Mario Brothers, and I remember my uncle bought me Mike Tyson's Punch Out
Oh yeah.
and Top
Nice.
Gun.
Oh,
Remember
Top
that?
Gun. Yeah.
Top Gun.
So
And
you ever figure out how to land?
once I landed once, and I remember
You landed
being
once.
so
I have
happy.
never. I have never been able to land. I've never been able to land. It's just like,
Like
nope.
that's the hardest thing to do in that game is freaking
Of all
land.
the game, of all the things that seem to be the like probably would be the easiest. Nope.
No, that is the
Landing
hardest.
was the hardest. Like, man.
I think my
Yeah.
favorite thing to do in that game was to go fueling. What? We're gonna go fuel up? Cool.
Yeah. Woo.
Try to
Try to get that
line
little
it up.
line up to that little thing. That little.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but the game I played the most was Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And that's the game that actually got me interested in boxing. I became a fan of boxing because of that game. It was so fun. I remember, um, just reading patterns. You got to read the patterns of the boxers, and you eventually would get good enough to, if you kind of timed your punches right in the middle of their combos, you can get stars.
Yeah.
And stars were your super punch. So I mean, it was very hard. Of course, the last two bosses, the last two was Super Macho Man and Mike Tyson, of course. And Super Macho Man was hard, and but it took me a hot minute to beat him. But then, I mean, Mike Tyson, um, you can beat him, but you had to be precise because
Yeah.
um, he flashed. When you see a flash, you know that dynamite punch was gonna come, and like it just takes one hit, and then you get knocked out. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so yeah, it was so many fond memories of that, and another one was Kung Fu. I played a lot of Kung Fu when I was a kid.
I remember
That
Kung
was
Fu.
Kung Fu.
yeah, yeah.
I remember trying to jump kick the guy on the motorcycle. Right? Isn't that yeah?
No,
No,
I
I'm thinking
think
of a different game.
No,
Sorry, I'm
it's a
thinking the
different
same
game.
company that did dodgeball. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
maybe Renegade. Oh well, the spiritual successor to Kung Fu was I think Renegade. Um, so that's another
Yeah, I
one.
think
Maybe you're
so.
thinking about that.
Might be
Might be.
Renegade. Yeah.
But I remember playing Kung Fu, and Kung Fu is basically a video game version of Game of Death by Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee made a movie called Game of Death, and this is basically like kind of like a video game version of that. Um, and Yeah, I had a lot of fond memories of playing at NES. I remember um, like Sega had the Master System, but I remember their boxes like Nintendo. Remember, guys, Nintendo had the black boxes, and
Yep.
with the picture of the game. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool black boxes with the art. And I remember the Sega box art for the for the Sega games. It was like
Yeah.
white. It looked like educational. It looked like Windows
The
or
bright white and the checker,
yeah,
the
checker.
checker
Yeah, yeah,
background.
yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was video. It looked like just common software. It
Common
looked.
software. Like, oh, you just got a Windows 95 upgrade.
Did you guys know anybody that owned like a Sega Master System?
Master? No, I don't think so. I just had the Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so yeah,
no brother had.
as far as
I
8-bit,
know.
I'm talking about just like 8-bit
Yeah,
systems.
No,
no.
I'm pretty sure. Ingo Rare only had Sega
Genesis.
Genesis. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
so
we ever had the
yeah,
Masters.
so I mean, in the 8-bit era, there was no playground argument over who was better, Sega or Nintendo, because it seems like everybody had a Nintendo,
Everyone had Nintendo. No,
and
like, really, no one really had the Masters,
I
from what I
think
remember.
the kids that had Sega probably was the ones where the parents couldn't get a Nintendo or couldn't afford it, so they just gave them a Sega Master System instead.
Hmm.
But because we never heard any like playground arguments, so playground like arguments about what system was better. Um,
Yeah,
but then that all
Sega
changed in
and
yeah,
the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis
yep, that
era.
all changed in the
That shall
16-bit
change on
era.
the 16-bit.
There
Yeah,
was the playground argument, like which was the better system, Super NES or Genesis, and both systems are really good, but both systems had different kind of games. They had
yeah.
some multi-platform games, but um, they're both good in their own right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I think if you wanted to play a lot of RPGs, a lot of good stories, it was the Super Nintendo.
It was the
If
Super
yeah,
Nintendo.
if you
Super
wanted to
Nintendo
play,
had all the good story RPGs
yeah,
itself.
um, if you
Character,
wanted
you
to
know. Mhm.
play, shooters, shoot 'em ups. Um, well, I have to admit, not that many people had a TurboGrafx 16.
Mm-mm,
Even though
nope.
it was dirt cheap, it ended up being dirt cheap in the end. But I don't. But there was no playground argument about
No,
that
No.
TurboGrafx
it
16 was
never
the
came
best.
up. It never
There
Yeah,
came up on the
it never
streets.
came up. It never came up in the playground.
because most of it itself with TurboGrafx, like there was no games itself. There was really not much of
Well, there
games
was
or
Bonk.
push.
There
Yeah,
was
there's
Bonk, and
Bonk.
there was a lot of shooters. I
Oh, you got
think.
Splatterhouse, and that was very adult, very adult.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
actually, I mean, TurboGrafx 16 was the first company to introduce CD-ROM. Um, they introduced CD-ROM, and you
Yeah,
can play Street Fighter on there. Street Fighter One. It wasn't called Street Fighter here in America though. It was called Fighting Street. Which I don't know why they reversed
yeah.
the name. It was odd.
It's where the
Um,
streets fight back.
the streets fight back. Yeah, that's why it's called Fighting Street. Um,
Hmm.
it's really odd
Makes
though
sense.
that Street Fighter One had to be on a CD-ROM because Street Fighter Two Championship Edition was actually a hue card. It was on TurboGrafx. It was in well, it was never on TurboGrafx 16, but PC Engine, the Japanese equivalent. Street Fighter Two Championship Edition was on a hue card. It was never on a CD-ROM.
Yeah,
So I find it odd that they had to put Street Fighter One, which was didn't you know on a CD-ROM where the hue card um, itself was powerful to enough to um, just play the regular Street Fighter One. But anyway, a lot of it was a cult. I want to say that before I go and delve more deeper into the Genesis Super Nintendo. I think that the TurboGrafx 16 has a lot of dedicated fans. It's getting a second life now by all the retro gamers. Um,
hmm,
and it started a lot of good franchises. Like um, one of my favorite RPG series right now, not right now, but like over the past 10 years, has been Ease. And Ease actually like TurboGrafx 16 actually made Ease. Well, it wasn't the first platform to have Ease, but it made Ease the best version of like Ease one and two was on that CD-ROM, Ease Book one and two. Um, and there was a lot of RPGs, and if you wanted the best shmups, um, a lot of them came from TurboGrafx 16, um, and Genesis. So I just wanted to add a side comment that the TurboGrafx 16 was good, but not a lot of people had them.
not a lot.
Um,
Yeah.
along with the CD-ROM attachment.
Oh no, no CD-ROM attachment.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So just wanted to make a quick comment, but the playground argument of the day was Genesis versus Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um, I remember Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and that looked like a fun game. Um,
Hmm. Yep.
Yep,
I
it
remember
was a
the
fun game.
I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, I never owned. I did. Oh, I owned a Genesis, but like I didn't own a Genesis for the first couple of years it came out. I had a Super Nintendo first, and
Yeah. It's either for back then it was either you go to brother's house or we go to your house. Either your place
yeah,
to play Super Nintendo or go to our house to play Genesis.
yeah, because I mean I remember you guys had the Sega Channel.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. John, yeah, your brother had the Sega Channel. I remember that. Um, yeah, Green Dog. I remember he had Green Dog.
Green
I
Dog.
remember, yeah, because
You know,
when
the
I
other one I
eventually
remember from
go ahead.
Sega Channel, the one I played the most on Sega Channel, I remember was Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh my God, Toe Jam and
You remember
Earl.
that? You remember that?
You
Toe
know,
Jam
was
and
it?
Earl and what's the other one? Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim is a dope game.
Yep.
I
Those
think
are
they
from Sega Channel. Those are two I remember that was like they're always there. They're always on Sega Channel. Those are like the two that I remember constantly playing on Sega Channel.
Yeah. So yeah, and now it's I guess the spiritual successor of the Sega Channel is there's
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
Game Pass and PlayStation Now. Um, so the Nintendo Switch has their own
eShop.
um yeah, well, not the
Yeah.
eShop, but they also have like, the Super Nintendo and the
Oh, you mean like the system emulators,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
which is free with subscription, unless you want to play what the N64 and what was the other library they're offering with
Genesis,
the
Genesis.
Genesis?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And it's like
and
what,
Yeah,
50
that's the
bucks or
expansion
something?
pack.
The
yeah,
expansion pack. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
No,
you're paying $30 more to play
Yeah.
N64 games and Genesis games.
no, I'm not spending that.
Yeah,
Especially that
no.
I'm paying for a family plan for my other two brothers. No,
Why
not gonna
not?
happen. Yeah, no. You want to pay for my?
Another 50 bucks, something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Mm, I'm good. I'm good off of
Yeah,
that.
I'm good. You can buy your own.
But
Yeah.
I just remember the arguments people had. Um, I people always argued because they would see the commercial of blast processing, which is weird because they don't know what they're talking about. They're just going with what they saw in the commercial.
Yeah.
Nintendo actually had a lot of the Super Nintendo actually had a lot of fast games. So it just depends on the programming. I think the blast processing was just a marketing term that Sega came up with. Um, but I mean, so the Super Nintendo also had a lot of fast games. It's just it wasn't those type of games that Super Nintendo had. They had a lot of Mario. It was Mario games. It was Super Metroid. Um, you know, it was Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
having Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Actually, when I had a Super Nintendo, I mean it came with Super Mario World, and I didn't have another game for a while. I mostly rented games, so I would rent like Final Fight and Super Mario Kart. So I rented those a lot. So
Oh, Super Mario Kart. Let's go.
yeah, the
Mm.
original Super Mario Kart, the Rainbow,
Oh God,
the
fuck
Rainbow
that track.
track. No, no barriers, so you could fall off easily.
Oh God, yep. And there's a
Yeah.
fast track too.
Yeah. The
I think my
Rainbow uh,
favorite.
track, that was one craziest one, fastest and worst. Because how easy you could just hit, slightly get knocked or budged, and you just fall.
Yeah, I think my favorite one is I think the Ghost track, the
Oh
The
warning
yeah,
Ghost
track.
track was
yeah.
fun. I
I
remember the
remember.
Ghost
Yeah,
track.
I
Yeah.
like the
Ghost
music
track
in
is
that
probably one
track
of the
too.
fun ones.
The
Yeah.
music in that track too is pretty fun.
I used to
Yeah.
save the feather just so I could take the shortcut. There's a part of a bridge that's so
Yep.
off the
That off
first.
the
There's the
path
first
to the
jump.
right on that bridge.
Yeah, you make a right and you could take a long way around, or if you can have the jump, or if you have a mushroom, hit the jump
You
bumper just
jump
right, you
over
can actually
right
land
when
onto
you.
the little stretchway and then cut back
Mhm.
right by the finish line. Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
play Bowser or Toads or Koopa or
I
Bowser.
played I played Koopa. Usually, I usually was for me was the little
Oh,
Koopa. Yeah.
Yoshi for me. Yoshi because of the acceleration.
Mm,
Boo.
yeah.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of was the genesis of all the kart racing. I remember I always played Super Mario Kart at my aunt's house because that's the game where keep all the kids busy while the adults were partying.
Hmm.
So you know
Especially when Mario Kart. and there was not that many other ones that had the capability of having the four player um that little four player
Yeah, well,
having
I
set
remember
at the same
the
time.
four-player multi-tap button
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
was for Super Bomberman. I had a lot of
that's
memories.
I remember.
I
Okay,
think
yeah,
you
I
were
remember.
there too. You
Yeah,
were there too.
I was trying to remember what other games that like the four
Yeah, so
player games
it
that
was it was. I
Super
remember.
Bomberman, Mario Kart. I think there was a racing game. I think there was. Is it
But
four by four or
I remember playing Super Bomberman
Bomberman?
when
Yeah,
we were at in my in our old apartment. It
yeah,
was
yeah. I
me,
remember
you, your brother,
brother and
Kramer, and Kramer's
Kramer,
cousins,
Kramer's cousin. Yeah.
and Vincent,
Hmm.
because Vincent had Super Bomberman, and he actually, he brought it to my house, and he had the multi tap, and I remember we just playing that all night.
Playing that.
It was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I just remember I remember playing, on a Saturday night. We're all like playing, and then it was we only had enough for four players, so I had a bunch of video game magazines back then. I used to collect video game magazines all the
Yep.
time.
Nintendo Power and
EGM,
was it
no,
EGM?
I had EGM,
Electronic
um,
EGM
EGM, and
Game Fan.
Game Fan, and
And
Game Pro magazine.
Game Pro.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
Game Pro
remember
magazine.
was
Game
it
Pro magazine, Joe,
I
was the
think
one where
Vincent was
it
usually the one that had the Nintendo Power, right? I think.
I think he had a Nintendo Power. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
we
yeah,
always reading through and checking checking those like
so the person that
those are
wasn't playing
only
was
yeah
reading through that.
reading through that
So
because help those are the only stuff that you get that have like actual walkthroughs of like of some of the like games itself. There's no other like before that. There was no like any walkthroughs or any like actual like Prima. Is it Prima or whatever? I forget the
there's Prima
walkthrough.
books and Versus books.
Okay,
There's the
yeah, but
Versus books and the Prima
yeah,
guides.
Do you
the
remember
Yeah.
in the
Prima guides and
magazines they would
stuff that
have in the back? They have codes, like cheat codes
yeah,
they can input.
the
I
cheat
used to go
code,
into like
Game Shark
Barnes and
codes.
Nobles, take a notepad, and start jotting down all
Just
the
showing
codes
those
and stuff.
out.
This is before the internet, so
Yep. It's all for internet, and it's like it was only monthly kind of thing. So you had to make sure like each month you have to make sure you get the newer one, or you know, or I'm over at Christian's like reading through the walkthrough because I have I want to go try the game itself.
or hunt down Game Shark codes.
Yeah, Game Shark codes. Yeah, I remember play
No, Game Genie.
Game
Oh yeah,
Genie.
Game
Game
Genie, if
Genie.
Game
you own
Genie.
this, yeah, for the cartridge type. So
And
Hmm.
if you
I
had,
remember renting
go
a
ahead.
Game Genie. I remember renting a Game Genie because I had Street Fighter, the regular Street Fighter 2. This was before when Turbo or Turbo Championship Edition came out, or Super Street
Hmm.
Fighter came
Yeah,
out. But I remember, I think EGM had put the Game Genie code out to play as the bosses. Balrog, Vega,
Balrog,
Sagat,
Vega,
and Bison.
Bison.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm.
um, I remember renting because California Video, the rental store, they were renting out the Game Genie. So I had my mom rent the Game Genie for me, and then enter in the code, and then you got to play as the bosses. Well, guess what? You're not supposed to play as the bosses, so you're not really playing them. The inputs aren't really accurate. And it's very buggy. But it was just cool that you can, it was still cool to me that you can play it. So
Yeah.
that was fun. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh no. Well, if you had the Game Genie and you had the US Super Nintendo, and you got a hold of Nintendo Famicom cartridge, somehow you got one of those. If you were to take off the door to secure the cartridge onto the Game Genie, if you take that off, you can slap down the Super Famicom game into the Game Genie, and then use the Game Genie to adapt into the US Super Nintendo.
Yeah, because
So
Yeah,
the region locking it wasn't software based. It was hardware based.
it was hardware based
rubber
by
base.
Yeah.
two little tabs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's how I was able to play Dragon Ball Z, Super Famicom's Dragon Ball Z. I would use the game
Okay.
genie to adapt that onto it. Yeah, didn't know a word what they're saying. Didn't know the inputs at all. Had to figure it out on my own. Unfortunately, I think I traded that for Secret of Mana.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
not nice. I wish I still had my Super Famicom. Oh well.
Oh, you traded Super Famicom for okay. All right.
Yeah, my Super Famicom Dragon Ball for Secret of Mana. Shit, I don't even know if I still have that cartridge.
I'm pretty sure you can get it now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I still have my cartridge for Super Punch Out with box,
Okay.
with
Oh,
Ooh,
cardboard box. Yep.
nice.
nice.
Yeah,
Damn.
that game I
You be the collector way back even before.
yeah.
You always
But
been
you know
that
what?
type of collector,
You know what?
especially with the
What
comic
sucks
books. I
is that
remember. Yeah.
I, the cool thing about collecting Genesis is Genesis had the shell,
The
the
hard
actual
case.
plastic,
The hard case.
the plastic,
Yeah.
the actual hard case. Super Nintendo and
Just
Nintendo
had the
always had,
flimsy box
yeah,
that
Cardboard
the
box and here's the
cardboard box.
cartridge.
always always damaged, constantly getting damaged
So
itself.
if you're collecting, it's if you're trying to get a complete in box, you're more likely to get
The complete unboxing the
complete in box
Genesis
for a Genesis.
compared to Super Nintendo's.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you do get a Super Nintendo, find a Super Nintendo complete in box, it will cost you an arm and a leg.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
that's just for a weathered cardboard. Um,
Yeah.
I recently, I mean, last year I have I'm sorry, I bought Street Fighter 2 Turbo from the Super Famicom version. And I was lucky that the cardboard was in good condition. The owner always had the what is it, the plastic casing. You know, Joe, the
Shrink
plastic
wrap.
casing, not the shrink wrap, but like when
The
you're
little
renting the
plastic.
squeeze. Yeah,
Oh yeah. I remember those. They had
Okay.
those for the
Oh.
VHS also. The squeeze
yeah,
cartridge.
Okay. Yeah.
Ugh,
And
gross.
similar to like the all the Funko Pop like inserts kind of thing.
yep. Well, yeah, well, I don't know because I don't collect Funko Pops, but Joe would know.
They just
And
have blister boxes, or they have the blister casing. Is that what you're trying to talk about?
Yeah.
Zip.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that's the same thing with how the older Nintendo games were there to keep them in condition itself. Those were made like that.
Mm.
did you
Oh
guys
man.
ever own a Game Boy? I had a Game Boy
Oh yeah.
and it was it was fun. I had a lot of fun with that Game Boy. I
Hmm.
remember not only Tetris but Castlevania was really good there.
On Game Boy
Yeah.
for me, I remember playing with back when I was way back when my mom, you know, got laid off, we're on welfare kind of stuff, and we're at a shelter with another friend itself playing nights and hours and end playing Wario World, not Mario, Wario on Game Boy. That
I
was
don't think
some
I ever
good
played that.
times.
We didn't get that far with the. We had a Game Boy. Um, just only Tetris because
Okay.
soon I think what maybe a month after we were trying to sell the house and we had people walking through the house all the time looking at it and it was in my older brother's room. One day it was just gone. Somebody stole it while they were walking through the house.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the finally when I did get a Game Boy again, a Game Boy Color, uh somebody stole that out of my backpack. It had Pokemon Blue.
Oh.
What?
Wah, wah, wah.
And finally years later I finally get another Game Boy because I think when the company I was working at, they had it as like a at their like demo booth, and she's like, I don't know if you like. I know you talk about video games. She hands me a Game Boy Color. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, and I look back and there's a game in there. It's Tiger Woods. I'm like, but I mean, it's a
It's a
working
Game Boy Color.
It's a
Game Boy
working Game
Color.
Boy Color.
It
It's a
finally
working
came
Game
back to
Boy
me. Now
Color,
I need to
man.
hunt down cartridges again, but I haven't since. But
Okay.
that's my run of Game Boys. Let me see if I can find it while you guys still talk. Ugh, somewhere here.
So what's game wise? What would be your funnest like multiplayer game? What would be the one that you always had to go to itself on Super Nintendo?
Dude, it had to be
Mario
Royal Rumble. Oh, for Joe.
Mario Kart.
For
Joe
both
is
for
still
you guys.
finding his stuff.
Yeah.
Joe's still finding. I'll have to say, you know what? Royal Rumble, and you know what? Rock and Roll Racing. Rock and Roll Racing was so fun. I remember. And there it
Oh,
is.
oh,
What is that?
nice.
Let me guess the color. Atomic purple, right?
Hell
That's
yeah,
atomic
Atomic
purple.
Purple.
Purple. Oh
Shit.
yeah.
I'm actually thinking of getting this Atomic Purple for the Pro and trying
Ooh, that'll
to
be sick.
swap that out.
Yeah,
That's a
for
custom
me, yeah, it would
modification.
be Royal Rumble and uh on Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo we Royal Rumble and probably Bomberman. Those are
Yeah,
probably the two
Bomberman.
fun. Those are probably like the two funnest ones. Like how many late nights like me Christian Joe Ingo Kramer Vincent the other cousins and stuff, or even like playing or the other there won't be playing with when I was over with my at my cousin's place NHL hockey itself. Um, I remember playing that with my cousin so many times itself. My middle cousin Arthur, like he always had Red Wings, and he just demolished everyone. Like it's like if you let him get Red
I
Wings,
think that
like
was
because
NHL '94, right? I remember. I think that was
NHL, yeah,
NHL '94. Yeah.
yeah, and that
Um.
was like that was his shit, man. Like every time I played him, it's like it was always like I'll maybe get like maybe one or two goals on him, and he'll be like 4 to 5 on average. Like that,
Wow.
he was good.
I remember. We played. Actually, you played with me. We played quarterback club a lot. Remember? As
Oh
far as football.
yeah,
Yeah, that was good.
uh-huh,
Quarterback club.
yeah.
Joe's like, oh yeah, you can't.
What
As
about
far
you,
as
Joe? Any like
hmm,
multiplayer like on Super Nintendo
Super Nintendo
itself?
would definitely be
or
Super
even
Mario
10.
Kart. Smash that game all day, every day.
And same thing to anyone that's watching, chilling out in chat. Thanks for lurking in. And if you do feel like chime in or any thoughts or anything, shoot them out.
Yeah. So if any of you lurkers are on there in the chat, I mean, feel free, guys. This is all just loose.
We just
We're all loosey
being
goosey and
us.
just saying stuff on the top of our head with no time. So I remember as far as
Okay.
multiplayer games go, me and you used to always play Quarterback Club and then Madden, and
Oh,
Tecmo
Madden,
Super Bowl.
Techno.
Tecmo
Was
Super
is
Bowl was
Techno
fun
Super
too.
Bowl? Was Techno Super Nintendo or was that NES?
They had it on the Tecmo Super Bowl was on Super SNES, was on the Tecmo Bowl was on
Techno Bowl
NES. Yeah,
was NES. Okay.
yeah, but Super Tecmo Bowl was
Super
on
Techno
Super
Bowl.
Nintendo. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I remember. Um, I of course, I'm a Niner fan, so I would always play the Niners, and then when I was playing Steve Young, I would just drop back all the way to one end zone and then just pass it to Jerry
Oh
Rice
yeah,
on on the other
all the
side, and he
time,
always catch it.
all the time. Or uh, pass it to freaking uh Reggie, Craig, and just run it. Go all the way back to the 1 yard line, back and forth, then run all the way to the end zone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
I
remember doing
remember
that so many times.
um, my favorite running back used to be Barry Sanders. So I
Oh
would
yeah,
pick the Lions just so I can play as Barry
just to play
Sanders, and
Barry Sanders. Yep,
I always just had running plays so I can just run
running
through
plays back.
everybody.
It's like how many? Who's how many? What's the score? Oh, it's like
Yeah, because
30,
they made Barry
37. It's
Sanders
like
really
37.
fast.
It's like 37-4, like 8-7 or something like that, or 7-14 or something. How many
Yeah.
touchdowns? It's all like all run plays, all run players, all Barry Sanders. That was it. No, it's like no pass plays at all. It's just Barry Sanders run.
And then let's not forget the RPGs. So um, I know Genesis had some RPGs too. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Joe, did you when you had Genesis, did you play any of the Fantasy Stars or any RPGs there?
No, I think I jumped into my RPG life. JRPG was PlayStation 1.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
so you didn't jump into it till
You didn't
later.
get much
Yeah.
into RPGs during.
So
Okay.
as far as RPGs go, um, actually the first RPG I ever had, or I guess I read that wrong. The first RPG, the earliest RPGs I remember playing was on the NES, and
Hmm.
I didn't even know they were RPGs back then. Um, I think I think Guardian what is it? Guardian Heroes. I forgot the name, but and then there was also Crystallis.
Crystallis.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
RPG, and I didn't even know that that was considered RPGs back then. Um, but what really got me into playing RPG games,
Oh,
especially JRPG games, was the Super Nintendo. Um, so
Yeah.
the first RPG game I ever um, owned for the Super Nintendo, what Zelda doesn't count. Zelda's an action RPG, which is another good one. But just like a proper RPG
There's
was
RPG.
um,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
yeah.
I
Actually, I
thought,
was gonna take that back. I was gonna say that.
yeah,
Sorry,
Mm.
I did have that.
and you know what? I
Final
thought that
Fantasy
was a
Mystics.
that, and technically that's not really a Final Fantasy game, even though the Final Fantasy name is on there.
Yeah.
But that's not a proper Final Fantasy game. And Mystic Quest was a good game, because it was so simple.
Yeah.
Storyline wasn't nothing home to write about, but I mean it was a good starter game, if you wanted to get into RPGs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
the S the Super Nintendo, like so many fun memories of this RPGs itself. Like what we got? We have Final Fantasy Music Quest. We have
yeah.
Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 6. You have
Chrono
Gaia.
Trigger, yeah,
You have
Chrono
Gaia. You
Trigger,
have
Hey,
Chrono
forget to
Illusion
play
of
Trigger.
Chrono
Gaia.
Trigger.
You have
Yep.
Secret of
Secret of
Mana.
Mana, Secret of Evermore. Remember
Secret of
I had Secret of
Evermore.
you and
You
your
have
brother would go to
was it?
my
You
house
have the
to
other
play
one.
Secret
Was it
of
Mother?
Evermore.
Was it
Huh?
Or Mother? Earth? Earth?
Yeah,
Earth?
Earthbound.
Earthbound.
In Japan it's
Um,
called Mother,
Mother.
but yeah, here it's
Uh,
called Earthbound. Um,
shoot.
I was
There's
never honestly I was never a fan of games where you couldn't see the protagonist. Um, which was I know a lot of people like Earthbound, but like as far as battle system goes, I was never a fan of um you couldn't see your character fight, so you
yeah.
have the you have the enemy in front of you, and you're you're giving commands, but you don't see your character. So I just I can see why those are still popular, but
Hmm.
I wanted to see my character who I'm role playing against fight, um, even though it is turn based. So I was a fan of those. But I remember, having you and your brother over just to play Secret of Evermore. You guys would actually
Yeah,
go to my house. Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Se- and
yeah.
Secret of Evermore was what is it? Silicon graphics based game. It had the same kind of graphics as Donkey Kong Country. Um, I
Donkey Kong
remember
Country was a dope game.
which one?
Donkey Kong Country,
Oh
that was
yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
Actually, um, funny story is that um, it was a great game. I love Donkey Kong Country, but I remember my aunt. Um, remember Media Play, right, in the Great Mall, right?
Oh
Oh
hell
yeah,
yeah!
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I remember we went to Media Play, and then like my aunt was gonna buy a game for her daughter, my cousin, and me, and my my cousin picked Donkey Kong Country, right? And then my aunt gave me a choice, like you want to play you want me to get Donkey Kong Country for you too, and I had a choice between Donkey Kong Country or Final Fantasy 3. And I remember I was having a hard time picking, but I ended up picking Final Fantasy 3. So my aunt bought me Final Fantasy 3, and I remember kind of having buyer's remorse because it's like it's a turn final it's a RPG game, turn based RPG. I mean, Donkey Kong Country had all the hype, so I was kind of disappointed.
No, no, no.
Um,
But you made the right choice. Think about
yeah,
it this
yeah,
way:
I
you
ended up
can
playing.
borrow hers.
Yeah,
If you want to play it, you can
and you know
borrow it.
what? Which is exactly what I did.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, which is exactly what I did. But I
that's the other one
remember,
I remember.
yeah.
Breath of Fire. That was a. I was trying to remember. What was the other RPG I
All right,
remember
so
playing a lot? Breath of Fire.
yeah, but yeah, Breath of Fire was fun. I remember you can Chun Li was there, Chun Li and Ryu, and you can actually remember do a
Hmm.
fireball. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, Breath of Fire. And then they had Breath of Fire 2 as well. But Breath of Fire was good. Um, yeah, Breath of Fire was good. It was a good. I don't want to say standard, but it was just funny that Chun Li and Ryu had
yeah.
cameo appearances there.
Had cameo experiences in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I remember playing Final Fantasy 3. And I'm glad I picked it. I don't regret it to this day. But I remember now you weren't there, David, but I was playing Final Fantasy 3, and I think it was me, Vincent, and Kramer, and um, like they were just there watching me play, and it was just it was like watching a movie. I mean, I
yeah.
remember
Especially the
the
opera
intro.
scene,
Yes,
the
the opera
opera
scene.
part.
No,
Oh
remember,
man,
but what hooked you was the intro. Remember the intro
intro.
where they,
Ooh.
where you
Mm-hmm.
saw Terra. They were taking Terra into
Turn
like,
to yeah,
yeah, into the town, and then they're walking with their Magitech armor. That was so fun. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, a lot of good memories. I remember just playing that all night, and that was one of those things where you don't even know where the time went.
yeah, yeah. Those are probably the best, fondest memories of playing those games, and you're so drawn into the stories itself that the story and the other thing is the grind. You know,
Yeah, so
playing forever and just going back and forth in the little corner to grinding for like without knowing you're grinding for an hour or so, so you could get like 5 or so levels up, so you could go and beat that boss you kept on dying to.
all right, so let's do it a quick top five. So well, not yeah, and it doesn't have to be any order, and it could change, but you're you're It doesn't have to be numerical order, or it can be just what you think of at the time. So Zip and Joe. So I'm gonna
as
start
well
with
as
Zip
for the
first.
chat.
Zip first. Yeah. You can chime in there too. So Zip, what's your top five 8-bit games and your top five 16-bit games?
8-bit games. Final Fantasy.
One.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 1. This is 8-bit white, right? Final Fantasy 1. Um, Super Mario. 8-bit, 8-bit. Trying to remember what's on 8-bit. Galaga, I think.
Yeah, Galaga. Galaga was
Galaga,
on Nintendo.
8-bit.
I remember playing a lot of that.
Trying to remember what's the Techno Bowl.
There we go. Yes,
Techno
good
Bowl,
choice.
right? Those are for 5 for 8-bit. 16-bit. Shadowrun.
Which version? Super Nintendo
Well,
or Genesis?
Genesis. I had okay memories with Super Nintendo, but I had more memories and more fondest memories, and a lot more got me involved into Shadowrun the game, the RPG itself, from the Genesis version. Uh,
And there he goes.
All right, so
something just happened.
that's fine. Good. Finish your thought.
Someone dropped off or something happened. Sorry for the dropout, guys. All right. Back to the thought. So Shadow 16-bit version is Shadowrun on Genesis, uh Final Fantasy 3/6, Chrono Trigger, uh Super Bomberman, and Super Metroid.
Good choices.
Okay. And I think those are top fives on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna move it to Joe. Okay. Then you know what? So we don't repeat ourselves. Um, you can't repeat if the other person picked their game. If it's already on another person's top five, you can't pick that.
Okay. Super
Uh,
regular
Good, I went
Nintendo.
first then. All right.
Okay. Regular Nintendo would be TNC Sure Shop. Now that you bring that up, I
That
remember
was
that finally
regular
playing.
Nintendo. That was regular Nintendo.
Yeah. So, um, Legend of Zelda.
Nice. Good choice.
Good choice.
I remember playing a lot of Punch Out,
Watch out.
Bubble
Okay.
Bubble,
Ooh, I remember that
Wobble,
one.
huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. That's a fun
and
one.
Dodgeball. I think is that 5 already?
Yep.
No. No. Oh no. Yeah,
And
that's fine. That's
That's
fine.
5.
That's fine.
That's
That's
5
fine.
right there.
Yeah.
and
As
then as
regular
far
Nintendo
as the
8-bit,
16-bit
16-bit.
Super Mario Kart.
Good one.
Oh God, trying to think what I had. Street Fighter, the Turbo New Challengers Edition. Played that one a lot by myself. Mortal Kombat, and was Master Blaster? No, that was on NES, I think.
Yeah.
Master
That was
Blaster.
that was an NES game.
Um,
Oh man, I forgot about Master Blaster.
yeah. Mega Man X.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's a good one. Man, fond memories on Mega Man X. Yep.
Oh, you know what I want to throw in the NES? Silent Scope.
Okay.
Do
I
you
thought
do you guys know
Silent
that one?
Scope was a Super Nintendo game.
Is it Super Nintendo? I thought it was
I believe
Yes,
NES.
si-
yeah,
no, I
you
believe
had the little.
No, Silent Scope is a submarine. It's like
Oh,
Top
okay,
Gun, but it's
Oh,
submarines.
okay.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's where I learned. I kind of learned or I learned how to tap out SOS.
Oh,
Because
Mm.
really? From that
when you
game?
put in your credits, your name credits, they put in Morse code. They translate it
Oh,
into Morse code, which is kind of cool.
okay, that's
So
cool.
if you need SOS, it's short taps, short taps, three long taps, and it's three short taps. So SOS.
Okay.
So as far as Super Nintendo, trying to think of what else. Super Punch Out. If I didn't mention that already.
Well, you already mentioned your five.
Oh,
For Super Nintendo, for six, that was eight
for
bit. For
16.
16-bit,
I'm
16
talking
bit,
about 16.
Yeah,
16-bit
so
now.
you put yeah, so you put Street Fighter, the new challenges, Mortal Kombat, Mega Man X,
Mario Kart.
yeah,
Mario
Super
Kart.
Mario Kart. So that's your five.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
there's just
And
five.
that's
That's your
my
five.
5.
And so so you guys picked some good ones.
You had to go
Some
last,
good
so now
ones.
you're a little struggle, huh?
No, actually, it no, it's actually should be easy for me because there's a lot
There's a lot.
of
There's
good,
so many,
good.
dude. Trying to
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
so I'm gonna go straight up with Super Mario Brothers 3. Super Mario,
Classic.
yep, yep. Super Mario Bros. 3, and then my second one would have to be Batman.
Ooh. Okay. The
I
movie Batman.
still,
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh,
and
Oh
I
man,
remember,
now I
and
remember Batman.
yeah, and I remember like playing that after school because I could pass it in one sitting. So I remember just like playing through the game, passing it, and then just moving on. It's like, okay, I got my, I got my fixin' for a video game that day. I can, move on and do my homework. That
Wait, which was the wrestling game that had like their symbols bouncing around in the background? Like if you
was
played,
WrestleMania.
was it
That was
WrestleMania?
WWF WrestleMania.
Oh
Hmm.
God, I remember playing that one.
Yeah,
I used to play
because
Bam Bam Bigelow.
yeah, Bam
Hmm.
Bam, and yeah, because I think Hulk Hogan had the cross.
Was it?
Like, yeah, Hulk Hogan symbol had the cross. And I think
Shoot, I know the giant was the foot, and
yeah,
then Bam Bam Bigelow was a cartwheel or a wheel on fire. I think that's all I remember. Well, what about the game Pro Wrestling for the NES?
I remember playing the Starman.
Yeah, I remember playing that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, Starman all the way.
yeah. Um, so let me go back to so what were we talking about? Okay, my list. So I was
Your
on
list for 8-bit
yeah. So my
for
list for 8-bit.
NES.
So
Yeah.
Batman. Then I remember playing a lot of Adventure Island.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay, I think that's on the NES emulator. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that is on there. Adventure Island. And then oof, it is getting tough. But there's a lot of games that I remember. Oh, Maniac Mansion.
Never played it.
Oh.
I
What's
remember
that?
renting that a lot.
Yeah. Remember you can't running on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Maniac Mansion, and because a lot of people had PCs, so I guess I mean, adventure games were popular on PCs, and I never had a PC during that time. But I guess my PC experience, the closest PC experience I had was playing Maniac Mansion,
Okay.
and yeah, and then of
It's
course
30.
I have to give it Castlevania 3,
Hmm,
Mm.
interesting
classic.
game. Oh yeah,
So that's Castlevania 3? Okay.
Yeah,
I
classic.
think
So that
I think for me, 2 is probably my favorite of the Castlevanias of the NES and the
of the
NES.
eight of the NES,
The 8
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard as hell though. It
Mm-hmm.
was, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was hard, hard. Actually, I don't think I remember passing it. I still have to pass it, and I will. I have the game, I have the emulator, so um, yeah. So actually, my goal probably, hopefully this year was probably be to pass it. Um,
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
We will
we'll,
see.
we will seeing. All right. So as
And
far
the last
as
one, you have one more for your.
oh no no that's so what Super Mario Brothers 3, Batman,
Oh, Super
Adventure
Mario's.
Island.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Super
yeah,
Mario's. I forget the Super Mario's. Okay.
yeah. That's it. So, as far as my favorite, my top five 16-bit games go, you know what? Actually, this is more easier for me. I'd have to go Batman Returns.
Mario Returns.
Yeah, Batman
Awesome
Returns.
game.
Yep,
Yep.
Batman Returns. Um, Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
New
Street
challengers?
Fighter. No, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Um, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Mm.
I remember spending hours and hours on that game. Um, and when you had to go to the light and the dark world,
Oh my
so
god.
fun.
Yeah.
Or
Uh
messing
huh.
with chickens. Messing with
Oh yeah,
chickens.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you eventually get jumped.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get jumped with chickens. Uh,
That game was cool.
and and just for the pure fun of like playing all night and upgrading your your car is Rock and Roll Racing. The
Oh yeah.
the
Soundtrack.
soundtrack,
One of the best.
upgrading your car, your vehicle, it's so fun. I remember even to this day, I would have fun playing it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of good memories. And then my um, oh, this is a tough one because I have a lot of I have a lot of but it has to be Super Castlevania 4.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, just the level design. I remember you're fighting on the chandelier, the rotating room. So fun, so fun. Yeah, so fun. It's basically Super Castlevania 4 was basically a remake, um, or like a reboot of Castlevania 1 for the Nintendo. Um, and yeah, and of course later in life, we because we never got to play Castlevania Rondo of Blood when it got released because nobody it wasn't released here in the States and it was on PC Engine CD. But Castlevania Rondo of Blood. If Rondo of Blood was released for was here in the States and I had a TurboGrafx 16 CD, that'd probably be my best. But as far as at the time, it'd be Super Castlevania 4, definitely. Um, yeah, and that's my top five. It's a pretty good list. If anybody out there lurking, all you lurkers out there, if you have a game that you passionately feel like you want to mention or your own top fives, feel free. But we're just going up
Yeah.
our own memory.
Let's do one. I'll go one honorable mention. Contra.
Oh yeah, and why didn't I bring that up? Yep.
Yeah.
I think that
Out
was
of all
low
the things, I
low
was like,
bearing
what's
fruit.
what? One honorable mention on it? Yeah, Contra.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Yeah, the Contra 3, the Alien Wars, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. The bosses were so fun. Remember the like the Terminator 2 style boss that you would fight in that room? those two like Terminator type bosses.
Two Terminator boss types looking
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then you just had to keep climbing, and then you had the big giant robot and with the head.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
I think my
Um,
favorite mode in Contra is the hallway fights.
oh, the hallway
yeah.
fights.
The hallway
Yeah,
fights, the ones you're shooting and you have to dodge
duck.
back and forth,
You have to duck.
duck.
Oops,
You know,
Ooh, what?
sorry, J-pop. Sorry for the inexplicable J-pop. Oh no, I had anime stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, um, so yeah, I think that's it. We are hitting over 2 hours. Wow. So I mean, we can go all night talking about
yeah. But I think
retro video games just because um it's what we grew up
it's
and it's
grew up
what
in
Oh,
fond memories.
we scared off the
Just
lurker.
it's like what is
It's
this anime
wonderful
stuff?
memories, man. That's the main thing about us and the Bantering Weebs is we like chill chat about geek culture, weeb culture, just
Yeah, so
just
video games
anything we're passionate about and
yep.
games of fun
Christian,
games,
Yo,
uh,
anime, movies. You know,
what about games that are inspired by the retro style, the 8-bit, the 16-bit?
well, I
Any of
mean,
those?
yeah, and it's inspired, but it's not really retro.
Well, yeah,
It's
it's not
it's
retro, but it's
it's indie
definitely
games that
inspired.
inspired. Yeah, so
I mean, it
so
does
what is
deserve a,
your
a mention, though.
yes,
I would think.
yeah,
So, any of those retro inspired games you want to talk about or mention?
well, I mean, if you want to talk about a retro inspired game, I'm currently playing Hyper Light Drifter is pretty fun.
Hyper Light Drifter. Is that where you're just like this? It's like you just constantly move to the right game. Hyper Light Drifter. Is that what that is?
Actually, I
Which is
have it
that one?
right here.
Oh, that one.
Joe,
That one. That one.
Joe, you
Yeah, yeah.
have this.
I have that.
uh,
You have
okay,
this.
I
yeah,
have that in my collection. I don't even
Yeah.
know. So sad. Okay. All right. Um, Party Hard is
party
retro
hard, yeah,
Oh,
pixel
and
light.
another Party Hard is good. Well, I never played it, but I've seen the clips,
Yeah, I should
and
probably
Joe's
stream it.
played it. Um,
Murder.
what the game that I've been playing lately that's inspired by retro is actually Black Future '88. The soundtrack is awesome though.
I heard.
The
I wanted
soundtrack,
to grab that.
yeah,
That's
the
one game I want
soundtrack
to
is
get.
awesome. The storyline's crazy because you're basically you're in the future, but they never changed the year. So it's always it ever since like the disaster, it's always been 1988. So the world is stuck at 1988,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still the future. They just never changed the year. So
Uh, you know how we were talking about 8-bit to 16-bit and all that. There's one game that actually kind of dips into that. It's called The Messenger. You're like it's like Ninja Gaiden, and it starts in
yeah,
8-bit
yeah,
and it
I seen that.
progresses. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. As
I
you
have yet to play it. I want to try it.
no,
yeah,
I've seen clips. It's one of those things where like, oh, it looks cool. I'll play it eventually, and then some
Yeah.
other thing go some other goes on. But yeah, I've seen clips of it where you know you, you go the graphics keep going higher and higher as you progress. Yeah, I like the concept, and you know what? As since we're talking about like retro inspired games, Undertale is a good example.
Yeah,
mm,
that's true.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
Undertale. I mean,
Very stripped
very
down.
yeah, very stripped down, very inspired by Earthbound. Obviously, it's obviously inspired by
yes,
Earthbound.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another one would be one I'm playing, Blue Fire. itself, it's retro look, retro style. If you look at it, it's a very toned down, like kind of kind of look itself. It does
And
look like an indie based, like toned down retro.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? At the start of like when when I had Android phones, or I've had Android phones for a while, but I've been a big fan of the Chemical RPGs that have come out on Android.
Which one?
Um, yeah,
Phones
Symphony
that
of
I haven't really
Eternity,
played any like you
the
you
Chemical
and
RPGs.
you and Joe are the ones that play like phone games of any sort itself. Yeah, I don't even
Well, the
barely even
Chemical
touch any of those.
RPGs are like this. They're like throwback to like the Super Nintendo days,
Okay.
and the storyline is pretty crazy. They have like crazy nonsensical storylines, which I like. That's why I like JRPGs.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
Very nice. I like the JRPGs. They have such better stories out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so yeah,
I
and
think we're at
yeah, the
probably closing thoughts, I
Owlboy,
think.
Owlboy, and Celeste too. Actually, we have to mention Celeste, if
Yeah.
anything, for the musical content,
Yeah.
and just the feelings and the feels, it gets. So,
Well, I
um,
have yet to play it.
I mean, um, indie games and like the retro inspired games are very heartwarming, especially for old farts like us, old weebs like us. Um, you know, um, especially when you're busy, because we're living busy lives. I have AAA games as well, and I love them to death. But the problem is, there's not enough time to devote multiple playthroughs on each game. So,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
retro games and the retro inspired games are like a good, you could get your fix of gaming real quick. It's easier to digest.
Yeah.
With AAA games, you kind of have to devote time, um, and a block of time to play through it. Because they're great, but you have to invest
Yes, invest. Yeah.
your time
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that.
especially back in the days, these retro games, there was no real save points. If there was a save point, it was not convenient save points where you have to have a code. That's your save. Like Punch Out had a code to save.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But
and
oh, go ahead.
it,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, just if you die, you die, and you start all over again. No real checkpoints.
Yeah.
Not until way later in video games life. In the early stages, like Atari and NES, there was barely any real like, oh, a checkpoint.
Oh
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
die and save here. Like
Yeah.
Notorious is Ninja Gaiden. Always
Hmm.
got to the cliffs, dead. You got to start
I,
all over from the
one one
beginning.
one of the best accomplishments in my gaming hobby is actually beating Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, sometimes
Yes.
you
Actually,
cry.
Joe.
Oh, had to get that out.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
get you. I get you, Joe. I get you, Joe.
I
Um,
see you. I see
I
you.
see you. I see you.
but yeah. Yeah, I forgot my train of thought now, but but
My bad.
but the thing is, the all the for all the conveniences that modern games have, um, the presentation is great and everything, but the problem is back then when you got a video game, it was finished. It was
Yeah.
finished, and you didn't have
Yes.
no day one patch. There was no day one patch. When you bought a game physically, that's the whole game. Um,
Yeah.
What you
so
have, you have it.
what you
Hmm.
have, you have.
There's that what we're comparing now. It's like every single time you buy a game, you're paying $60 for a
A
It's just an
game that
unfinished
that's
game.
not
not
going to be the
a
game
not
that's going to
completed
end up
game.
being,
You're
yeah.
paying $60 for an uncompleted game
Yep.
because you're it's like
So
and you're gonna be what another you buy the game, it's what now it's like 50, 60 gigs. Then it's another 50, 60 gig download
yep,
to
to
patch
patch
the
it.
whole
Yep.
thing. So and the thing is like a 200 gig game that that you paid $60 for, but it's not done
Yeah.
until like 3 or 4 months after you purchased the game.
And I mean, it's not entirely the developer's fault because they have to make deadlines, but it seems
Hmm.
like nowadays they're pushing a game out, and then it's like, oh, the deadline is coming. We have to get this game out. You know what? Just release the game and we can patch it up later. I,
Yeah,
that's the thinking. Um, but
that's
on
pretty
the
much that's the new
yeah,
thinking now because
but on
that's
the
pretty much
flip
everything how it is
side,
now.
on the flip side, um, on the flip side, they can patch it out. So,
Hmm.
like the little secrets that, when we're playing video games, there's always like little bugs or little
Yeah,
like stuff
yeah,
in the game. Like, the glitches in Super Mario Brothers, when you can go through the wall.
yeah.
They had stuff like that, right? Um,
Hmm.
or, the negative world. Well, I mean, companies can patch that stuff now. Um,
Yeah.
which is
Whereas
cool, but at the same
back
time,
then it was like it's a glitch and it ends up being like a specific feature.
yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah,
They can patch it now, but it was kind of fun to discover glitches in the game.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and then it's something like, it's passing down from your friends or from anybody in the schoolyard. So, yeah, that was fun back then.
yeah.
Yeah, and we're way over 2 hours now. We can go
What?
all
Okay.
night.
All
What?
right.
We can go all night,
What?
but you know what? We're at the point where we can give our closing statement. So, I'm going to give the go ahead and give your closing statement about the night.
Yeah. Thank you guys for stopping by, chilling out, and it's been fun. Remember a lot of old games itself, a lot of childhood memories, a lot of good memories itself. There's always some negatives and stuff, but overall, you always know good friends playing games. You're able to get a lot of camaraderie and a lot of friendships and a lot of builds from games itself. And uh, if it wasn't for games itself and being how we are and being how it is itself, me and Christian here, we've been friends since elementary, since what third grade, I think. So, and it's always been games, anime, or other cultural kind of stuff that we've always been able to clash or enjoy the same aspects itself. And from here is we met with Joe, you know, from anime, and from that, gaming and culture itself, so
Yeah,
um embrace the weeb culture, embrace what you feel, be passionate about itself, and you know um yeah, be passionate about what you're feeling like, and good things are going to be coming from that itself. Good
yeah,
friendships, and just be passionate and honest with yourself. And that's what I could say.
yep, cool. And Joe, your closing statements.
My
Thoughts.
closing statement or my takeaway of the night.
Hmm.
Unfortunate for these WWE wrestlers to get cut for a reason of budget cuts. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
Um, but you know what? That releases them from their obligation with WWE. Maybe these people had also their arguments of, hey, I'm not really liking this company. Let me go. Let me go. Well, no, you're in contract. hey, now they're able to venture out and grow. That's what I'm gonna say for them. Um, and as for our retro games, do what you like. You like playing video games, play your video games. And this stuff, you know, it helps it helped us grow. This is our escape. So when a parent says put down the video game and whatnot, unless it's unreasonable, you know, enjoy your video games. That's all it is.
Yeah, simple. Yeah, simple. So, I'd like to like piggyback of what Joe's saying. So for my closing thoughts,
Piggyback.
yeah, yeah,
Go ahead.
Can you
this is
carry
a
him, Joe?
kid show, Joe, kid show, Joe. You can't help it. You can't help it.
I
But
think I think I think Joe's back's getting a little sore. He has to carry everyone, man.
Oh,
okay. So I like to say this. That we're grown adults, but video games are always going to be in the background. Video games and in a lot of instances, anime, comics, and what have you. It's always going to be in the background. I remember being a freshman in high school, and
freshman.
then this guy um, that was on the wrestling team. He's like, yeah, I don't play video games. That's I think we've grown out of it. I only play, quarterback club. I said, you're still playing a video game. Um, it's like, don't let anyone shame you into liking what you do and what you're passionate about. As long as you're responsible and it doesn't take you out of your responsibilities. Um,
Or you ain't
just
hurting nobody.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're
Yeah.
not really hurting nobody, and I look at video games as another medium, along with books and movies. Um, that's how I do it. Like I don't really play too many multiplayer games, except for fighting games. I'll play. So my two favorite genres are RPGs and fighting games. I like RPGs because it's like reading a book, but you're actually interacting with stuff. And then I like to compete. I'm a kickboxer, so I love fighting games. Um, so I mean that's my inspiration. That's where I draw inspiration from. And I'm a responsible adult with with a good job, decent job. Um, you know, a girlfriend. So I mean, and don't let anybody tell you that only it's for kids or certain it's for don't let anyone talk down to you
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
liking what you like. You know, like your hobbies, be passionate about them. If you can find a career in it, great. Um, but just don't let anyone dissuade you from your passion. You're not hurting nobody, like what Joe said, and so like for me, it's for us. This is our life. It's always going to be in the background, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
It's in our background.
It's
So
always.
that's my closing thought. And I developed a lot of friendships. Joe, David,
What?
and some
Oh,
of my closest friends. I have a
Yeah.
friend named Kramer because of video games. Yes, I have a friend named Kramer, and we all know a guy named Chandler. So we have friends named after 90s sitcoms. We have friends that are from 90s sitcoms that are named.
Mm-hmm.
But just little tidbit I like to share there.
Little tidbit out there.
Yeah. But for all you lurkers out there watching, hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you on the other side, Nathan.
oh, I think it's supposed to be in the theaters now.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, it is.
yeah. It
Yeah.
is. It actually
Yeah.
appeared yesterday. Yeah,
All right.
it's something to look forward to. Rena and I are gonna be at the movie theaters tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
gonna be like desperate behind you guys.
Like the
What you
meme,
doing?
like
What
that
you
meme
watching?
in.
Abita, what you watching?
All right,
All right.
guys.
All right. And this is
Peace.
Bantering Weave, guys. Signing out.
Signing off.
Till next time.
Peace.
Later.
Oh, cool. That is not. It didn't feel like it went that long, but it was long.
It
But
was